you can count on us. This is 7 News Good Morning Fort Sill.
And welcome to this Friday edition of Good Morning Fort Sill.
It is Friday, and it's a pretty warm weather so far this week. We got a great show for you today. Cover a lot of military topics, but first we're going to go ahead and kick it over to Michael Amakwa in the Weather Center along the weather wall to give us the lowdown on this heat.
Today's bad news, I guess.
Yeah, man, I'm looking at your graphics. 105 to 112 feels like, right?
Yes, right? Unfortunately, that's going to be the case. We do have a heat advisory that will be in effect today from noon till 8 p.m. And yes, those heat index values could be as high as 105 in some places. Can get up high as 112. So it's going to be another hot day across Texoma. And currently looking at the Jackson County Memorial Hospital Tower cam, quiet right now, mostly clear conditions, not too much clouds in the sky other than some haze and a few high-level clouds. And as you go into yesterday, we had a high of 102 yesterday. So I forecasted 101, so that's right around what I forecasted. A little bit above average for this time of year, almost 98 degrees. Our low, though, was a little bit cooler than normal at 72 degrees. And yesterday elsewhere we had 101 in Chickasha, 99 in Duncan, 100 in Wichita Falls, 103 in Frederick, you're the hot spot, and as well as 104 in Childress. So it's going to be another hot day across here, and I have a forecast along with a possible slight cool down. I will have those details coming up.
Take a look at our top stories. So 6 soldiers at Fort Stewart, Georgia are being credited with saving a number of lives by stopping a gunman before his rampage could go any further on Wednesday and tending to injured as well.
Yeah, 5 people were shot before the bullets stopped. There were no fatalities, thankfully. Laura Aguirre was at Fort Stewart, where those brave soldiers who confronted the suspect and helped the victims were honored.
We are highlighting the resilience of the American soldier. We are showing their strength and their courage under fire.
Under fire, not in combat, but on their own base, Georgia's Fort Stewart, where a soldier is now in custody accused of shooting 5 fellow service members Wednesday. As shots rang out, other soldiers rushed in and confronted the gunman.
Just got to the point where I was trying to engage him by trying to down talk him. Clearly that wasn't working, and ended up having to go hands-on to try and disengage.
Staff Sergeant Aaron Turner and 1 other soldier safely secured the suspect and his weapon until military police arrived. Today, the Secretary of the Army awarded the 6 heroes with meritorious service medals for the tackle and to those who provided triage.
I saw the soldier laying on the ground in the hallway, and I asked if he was injured, and First Sergeant Arnold said he had been shot. So I immediately sprinted over to the soldier and got down on my knees and started rendering aid.
Army criminal investigators say the suspect, 28-year-old Cornelius Radford, will likely be transferred to a military detention center. One of today's medal recipients remembers assisting Radford with his reenlistment.
Other than that, the contract part of it and the work part of it, I do not believe that the soldier ever spoke to me about anything personal.
When asked if Radford exhibited any red flags.
No, you cannot reenlist a soldier if there was any kind of flag in place or anything like that. So he met all the criteria at the time.
The 5 shooting victims were transported to the hospital with varying degrees of injuries, but Army officials say they are all expected to recover. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Well, August is Anti-Terrorism Awareness Month.
That's right. Soldiers at Fort Sill's DPTMS are focusing this month on drones, and specifically how and when soldiers and their families should report suspicious drone sightings. Private drones are not authorized on or near military installations like Fort Sill. With that in mind, authorities want you to know what to do if you see a drone on the installation.
As far as drone reporting procedures go, you're going to want to try to identify, if possible, take a video or a photo of the drone and be able to report it to the numbers necessary so that way we can deconflict that information.
Soldiers and families can contact the Fort Sill MP desk at the number on your screen if you see anything suspicious on post. Well, an NFL team plane was spotted at the Lawton Fort Sill Regional Airport yesterday, but it was not carrying the 6-time Super Bowl champion New England Patriots.
It definitely was not. Did see quite a few comments about this on social media yesterday and said it was Fort Sill soldiers who hitched a ride on the Boeing 767. That aircraft is chartered by Omni Air International, who has a contract with the Department of Defense to transport military personnel. Well, the Quick Car Auto Care location on Fort Sill has permanently closed. The Fort Sill Exchange announced this closure earlier this week, apologizing for any inconvenience it may cause. Officials didn't announce the actual reason for the location's closure, though. Well, yesterday was National Purple Heart Day, the day where we take to commemorate the commissioning of the first Purple Heart medal. And in honor of that day, Geronimo unveiled newly installed Purple Heart City signs. The signs are set at each entrance to the city and marks Geronimo's place on the Purple Heart Trail. Geronimo's mayor is a Purple Heart recipient. He understands the importance of honoring those veterans and how they served.
It's all about remembering them, honoring them, and honoring those, who have, not just shed blood for the freedoms that we all take for granted, to include myself, but, just everything in general as far as what the actual medal stands for.
Officials say the signs will make sure everyone going through the area sees the city's admiration and gratitude to veterans.
Meanwhile, the Kiowa Tribe formally declared the day Kiowa Tribe Purple Heart Day.
So organizers were inspired by the KCA organization doing their own Purple Heart celebration. After speaking with one of Oklahoma's Military Order of the Purple Heart chapter commanders, Mitchell Reed, they began the process of officially recognizing the Kiowa Tribe as a Purple Heart tribe.
Now, there are around 1,000 known Kiowa veterans, dozens who've been awarded the Purple Heart, including 11 who have either been killed in action, held in captivity, suffered combat wounds, or have been declared dead while MIA.
I am a soldier myself, 23 years, and coming back to my home tribe and being here and learning about all of our previous soldiers, Solegas, the military branches, I just feel honored to be able to bring forth their names and let everybody know that, they sacrificed a lot for us, and to never forget what they did for us, that ultimate sacrifice.
In Washington, President Donald Trump signed a proclamation recognizing National Purple Heart Day at the White House at a White House ceremony. Nearly 100 past recipients of the award were on hand for the event. The Purple Heart is America's oldest military decoration. It was first awarded by President George Washington back in 1782. It is awarded to veterans who were wounded or killed in combat.
Taking a look at some upcoming events, the Lawton Rangers Rodeo continues tonight, and it's Military Appreciation Night at the Yellow Ranch Arena. Fort Sill is providing their full support as usual.
Well, they are, and I've experienced this in past years. In my previous job, before I retired, I did participate in helping organize some of this. So the video you're seeing is some past years. Of course, sadly, we don't have the band anymore, and the half section won't be participating this year, but 434th Field Artillery Brigade will be providing the color guard for the national anthem. And the FCO and Fort Sill Commanding General, Brigadier General Pat Costello, will swear in over 50 service members or future service members during an enlistment ceremony. Along with Brigadier General Costello, the Installation Command Sergeant Major, Chief of Staff, and Garrison Commander will all participate in the grand entry. There will also be hundreds of Fort Sill soldiers attending the event. It's always a fun time.
Yeah, gates open at 6 o'clock. Grand entry scheduled for 7:30 with events starting at around 8 o'clock. You can buy tickets at LawtonRangers.com, select locations, or at the gate.
Well, the VFW Post 1193 in Lawton is hosting its monthly Feed the Community event tomorrow afternoon. The menu includes chicken and sausage etouffee, baked potatoes, salad, dessert, and a drink. They'll have meals ready from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. You can get to-go plates starting at 1:30. The Post is located at 926 Southwest 2nd Street.
And members of Altus Air Force Base will hit the volleyball court for a good cause.
That's right. The First Sergeant's Council and senior enlisted members will team up to take on the Altus High School volleyball team in an exhibition match tomorrow. That match will get underway at 5 o'clock in the evening at Altus High School.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. They'll be selling souvenir T-shirts. All proceeds will go to benefit the Altus Volleyball Booster Club. Well, a few months before celebrating 250 years of serving Americans, the Marine Corps is honoring veterans by helping out their kids in the form of scholarships. We'll take a closer look at a tradition that dates back more than 60 years when Good Morning Fort Sill returns.
This just in, the town of Velma is being evacuated.
Stay connected to the team you trust your way. Get breaking news and investigations here on the 7 News app.
Mark, what are you seeing? Right now I'm here at 2nd and F.
Instant forecast with real-time alerts here on the First Alert 7 weather app. And stream live on your TV here or watch anytime on your schedule. Download all 3 for free. Stay connected to 7 News wherever you are. Sunny or severe, we get it right, you get it first. First Alert 7 weather. Here's your First Alert forecast with meteorologist Michael Amanqua.
Well, it certainly is a warm morning out there. Our current temperatures are sitting in the mid to upper 70s. It's currently 78 in Lawton right now, 79 in Wichita Falls, 75 in Duncan, 79 in Frederick, and 75 in the Altus area. And as far as our 24 temperature hour change, we're anywhere between 2 to 3 degrees higher than we were this time yesterday. So it is noticeably a little bit warmer for this time of year. Our dew points are a little bit higher in our far eastern counties, currently in the upper 60s in our eastern counties, lower 60s, and even a few upper 50s where there is a bit drier out west. And our winds are a little bit breezy this morning, currently out of the south anywhere between 5 and 15 miles per hour. We have sustained winds in Elk City at around 17 miles per hour, so getting closer to the 20 mile per hour mark. And currently high pressure still just to our southwest, and that's continuing to allow northerly flow in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So we'll have a few high level clouds come in today. Other than that, it's just going to be mostly sunny across the area. And currently right now we see some of that upper level clouds coming in and streaming in from the northwest. Other than that, we're not seeing any precipitation, barely any clouds in the sky. Currently it is 78 degrees at Fort Sill, and we have a wind speed at around 8 miles per hour. And as we head towards over the next few hours, temperatures will be steadily declining into the mid 70s by 7 a.m. and then getting back up to around 84 degrees by 9 a.m. And I will have the full forecast on what we can expect this weekend and into early next week coming up.
Well, in November, the Marines will celebrate their 250th year of serving Americans.
That's right, but a few months ahead of that celebration, the Marine Corps is also honoring some students. Our Washington correspondent Stetson Miller brings us that story.
It's a tradition that goes back over 60 years. It honors those who serve the nation by helping out their kids.
Folks will say, well, thank you for your service. The Marine Corps Scholarship Foundation is about seeing how that thank you manifests itself in bona fide gratitude to Marines.
This is the Marine Corps Scholarship Foundation's annual ceremony for the latest class of Marine Scholars.
I'm actually a 4-time recipient, so I've received it since I was a freshman, and it means a lot to me. It's been very life-changing, I guess you could say.
This year, the organization awarded nearly 2,900 scholarships, totaling over $12 million to students across the country. And this ceremony at the Marine Barracks in Washington was even more special, as they also celebrated the Marine Corps' upcoming 250th birthday.
For as long as the United States of America has been around, Marines have been serving in one capacity or another, and I think that that's really historic and the opportunity for just why what we do is so important.
And the Marine Corps Scholarship Foundation is the nation's oldest and largest provider of need-based scholarships to military children. In Washington, I'm Stetson Miller.
Well, on this day in 1974, President Richard Nixon announced his intention to resign from the presidency.
The decision came as a result of the Watergate scandal, which involved his administration's efforts to conceal its involvement in the break-in at the Democratic National Committee headquarters. In his 16-minute address, Nixon said that he was resigning because he, quote, had concluded that because of the Watergate matter, I might not have the support of the Congress that I would consider necessary to carry out the duties of this office.
Nixon submitted his letter of resignation to Secretary of State Henry Kissinger the following morning, August 9th, becoming the first U.S. president to resign from office. He was replaced by Vice President Gerald Ford.
This just in, the town of Velma is being evacuated.
Stay connected to the team you trust your way. Get breaking news and investigations here on the 7 News app.
Mark, what are you seeing? Right now I'm here at 2nd and F.
Instant forecast with real-time alerts here on the First Alert 7 weather app. And stream live on your TV here or watch anytime on your schedule. Download all 3 for free. Stay connected to 7 News wherever you are.
Take a look at your national military news. This week, the Air Force announced that they would not approve any temporary early retirement authority or TARA exception to policy requests for Air Force personnel being separated with 15 to 18 years of service.
And that policy includes transgender service members who are facing removal from the Air Force after the Trump administration announced sweeping changes to the military earlier this year. Here's ABC's Allison Cossack with a closer look at the impact of the TARA announcement.
This morning, new reaction to the Pentagon's decision denying early retirement benefits to transgender service members like Master Sergeant Logan Ireland.
The first feeling I felt was betrayal. I've given my life to the service.
Ireland served 15 years in the Air Force, including multiple tours overseas, and had decided to take a common option to retire early. This email in June from the Air Force confirms not only his retirement, but also the details of his benefits.
It's kind of like your golden ticket. So I felt solid.
But this week, he was told those benefits will now be taken away.
I was promised this. I had my retirement orders in hand. In fact, I've been starting to process what life looks like outside of uniform. And now we don't know what that looks like.
The Air Force acting personnel chief writing this in a memo this week. After careful consideration of the individual applications, I am disapproving all temporary early retirement requests for members with 15 to 18 years of service. But he didn't provide an explanation in the memo for the decision.
To ensure that we have the most lethal fighting force in the world, we will get transgender ideology the hell out of our military. It's going to be gone.
All transgender members of the Air Force are being separated from the service after the Supreme Court upheld President Trump's executive order banning transgender troops. A policy advocacy group say impacts 15,000 people serving in the military. Ireland says he'll keep fighting for what he believes is rightfully his.
But one thing that the military failed to teach me was how to retreat. So I'm not going down without a fight.
Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
Turning to your good news story of the day, we're less than a week away from the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II. Now, less than 1% of the more than 16 million Americans who served in that war are still alive today.
One of them lives in Duncan. 7 News reporter Skylar Teddington had the honor of sitting down with a veteran who served in the 739th Tank Battalion.
As the oldest living World War II vet in Duncan, Gilbert Chalk Charleston has seen a lot in his 102 years of life. From meeting former Oklahoma Governor William H. Murray, better known as Alfalfa Bill in the 30s.
My dad was in politics, and he was one of the first full-blood Indians to be elected to public office. He was a tax assessor of Stevens County in 1931. That was the same year that Alfalfa Bill Murray was governor. So when I was 10 years old, he took me to the Capitol in Oklahoma City to meet the governor.
To fighting in the Battle of the Bulge during World War II. He's worn many hats as a husband, a father, a soldier, you name it. With deep roots in southwest Oklahoma, naturally he has an exhibit at the Stevens County Historical Museum where he's donated dozens of his belongings to preserve a little bit of history, though he encourages people to check out the museum as a whole.
I think people should come and see this museum, not only for my stuff, but it's just very interesting with other things.
This week, the museum held a ceremony to surprise Charleston with a highlight of his long life. The ceremony kicked off with some music that included a song sang in Choctaw and English to pay homage to Charleston's Choctaw roots. And Duncan officials also joined in on the ceremony to make a proclamation.
And distinguish and proclaim August 7th, 2025 as a day to honor and celebrate for Mr. Gilbert Charleston Day in Duncan, Oklahoma.
And the Stevens County Honor Guard presented the colors. You can head to the museum every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday between 1 and 5 p.m. to see Charleston's history for yourself. Reporting for 7 News, I'm Skylar Teddington.
Here's your first alert forecast with meteorologist Michael Amanqua.
And looking ahead for your Friday, we'll have mostly clear skies by the time you're around 9 to 10 a.m. And as you go through much of your Friday, with the exception of a few high-level clouds streaming in from the northwest, we should remain mostly sunny out there. Going into your Friday night, into your Saturday morning, we'll have an increase in cloud coverage, especially higher-level clouds coming into the area. And we'll have partly cloudy skies for most of your Saturday, but we should remain precipitation-free until maybe about Sunday. With this longer-range model, this has it by around 6 p.m. Sunday afternoon and evening. A few showers and thunderstorms possible in the northern counties. And then as you go throughout your Monday, maybe a little bit of widely scattered activity. This one is painting a little bit more activity, especially across the northern parts of Texoma. And then as you go into Tuesday, another round of showers and storms is possible. Right now, precipitation chances are around 20%. Our heat index values will be high today, so 105, 106 will be the feel-like temperatures generally overall. And we're going to repeat the same thing for tomorrow with heat index values for your Saturday at 103 to 105 across the area, with a few locations seeing even higher amounts and, well, temperature, I should say, for the feel-like temperature. 103 will be the high for the Lawton area, with winds out of the south between 5 and 20 miles per hour, falling down to a temperature of 78 degrees with mostly mostly clear conditions, with winds out of the south at 5 to 15. And tomorrow will be another hot day with a high of 102 in Lawton, with winds out of the south between 10 and 15 miles per hour. And take a look at that 7-day forecast. We will continue to have temperatures in the lower 100s before we get a little bit of a cool down starting early next week, with about a 20% chance of an isolated shower or storm possible. And then we continue to have mid to upper 90s going into next week.
Got to survive the weekend, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thanks for watching. Good morning, Fort Sill.